Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hoping, God, it's only Wednesday. This week's going by. It feels like it's going by really fast. It's actually going by really slow. And thank God, because we got a lot to share with you guys this week. Today, I'm going to be talking about how a free discovery visit might actually be hurting your practice, and kind of do a cross analysis between the pros and cons with free discovery visits versus having a paid or unique offer on the front end that could diversify, could set you apart from other practices, and potentially greatly increase the amount of ad spend that you have to acquire a new patient. So today I'm going to be kind of breaking down everything that we've learned over the years and years of us doing physical therapy practice marketing, and share some of the things that we started doing that created a huge shift in the performance of all of our ads. So if you're catching this live, comment live. If you're catching replay, comment team replay. This will be a pretty short video today. But I think it's really, really important to understand what it is that we're offering, and understand the psychological elements that go into converting a paid advertising lead into an actual patient. Because there's a lot of psychological elements in there that a free discovery visit just simply wasn't designed for. So just to go back, when we first started doing Facebook ads for practices, we never even thought about creating offers. All we thought about was like, we're really good at running Facebook ads. We're just going to run Facebook ads to their website that has their offer, which is a free discovery visit. Every single practice out there has some variation of a free discovery visit. And there's a lot of issues with that. And I'll dive into that. Hey, what's up, Jeremiah? What's going on, Max? Thanks for jumping down here, guys. So when we first started doing advertising for people, for the first year, all we did was draw ads and send them to these free discovery visits. And our numbers look great. Every single time we're preparing for a client meeting, we're always so excited because we got so many good clicks. We got so many leads. Our cost per 1,000 impressions is super low. And all the numbers, all the stats looked really great. But at the end of the day, those were just vanity metrics. They didn't result in actual patients buying plans of care, which was really demoralizing at the time, because we knew that we're really good at Facebook ads. And we thought for a while that it had to be us. Like, do we suck? We had a second guessing us. But upon further research and actually following up with a lot of these leads that were opting in, it turns out that there's just a lot of deeper issues with the leads that we're reaching out to. And what it all boiled down to was the offer, and them just not understanding it. Hi, dude, Cinda, so good to see you on here, man. It's been way too long. We got to catch up too, bud. So the thing that we discovered after doing further research into all the different leads that we're acquiring for these people, and trying to figure out, like, why the heck won't they convert on plans of care, we discovered that they just there's a couple different problems. Either they just never showed up, or they did show up and they just weren't a good fit and they never ended up buying a plan of care, or they just had no freaking clue what they opted in for. They didn't even remember doing it, which is obviously a big problem. So we reached out to a lot of the people and tried to figure out what was going on. And more often than not, it was they didn't even remember what they opted in for, or they were confused about what the offer was. And as we know, a confused buyer never buys. If someone isn't sure what they opted in for, they're not going to come, whether they book with you or not. Okay. The people that did show up, they were the freebie seekers. They were the people that just take free stuff and have zero ability or inclination to actually buy your plan of care. So what that ends up doing is just you spending a lot of time providing a ton of value with someone that's never going to actually pay you, when what you could have been doing is spending the exact same time with someone who is going to buy a plan of care and is ultimately going to refer more people to your business. So that's what it's all about. So we discovered a lot, and that the free discovery visits, at least with paid traffic, is really, really difficult for a lot of reasons. We're going to break down some of the science and psychology that goes into this, and even show you a few numbers to really drive the point home. But free discovery visits with paid advertising has caused a lot of issues, and which is why none of our ads, we always create a unique offer that's paid. And that's why we started having so much success, and why we grew so much faster. So just to give you a couple of the problems, because I know a lot of people in here run free discovery visits. I'm not saying you can't do that. There is a place for free discovery visits, especially if you're in pelvic health. If you need to have something on the front end to make people feel comfortable, that makes a lot of sense. But there's a lot of settings where you don't need that. And I will still argue, even in pelvic health PT, there are other strategies that we're currently working on testing before. I'm not going to say that this is how you should do it until I test it. but I firmly believe that there's something much better you can do rather than free visits that's still going to give the same effect of whether or not it's a great fit and get to know each other before they come into the clinic. There are ways to do that paid without wasting your time on someone that might not be a good fit. So we'll go deeper in that in a little while, but I know that was a part of the topic when we were having a discussion earlier today within the group on whether or not paid offers or free offers is the right way to go. So let's just do a quick breakdown of pros and cons of both, right? So the number one problem that we found with free discovery visits and why they really are hurting a lot of practices, especially when it comes to paid advertising. And just so you know, guys, everything I'm saying within this video is all in regards to paid ads. Okay, if this is referrals from a physician, free discovery visits make a lot of sense because that's the expectation you set with that physician. So I'm not saying that it's not the best, but when it comes to paid ads, absolutely an issue. Okay, so free discovery visits were not designed for paid traffic. Free discovery visits started when the only way you can go see a physical therapist is with a physician referral. And with a physician referral, the person obviously knows, likes, and trusts that physician and can understand the context and how important physical therapy is within their own diagnosis. They already understand. So all they have to do is figure out which one's going to be a best fit for me. So that's what a free discovery visit was for people that were referred and already understand the value of physical therapy. When we're doing paid ads, especially on Facebook, people most of the time have no idea what physical therapy does. So offering them a free discovery visit, not only is it not really an offer, and I'll explain why later, but it offers zero context into what they can actually get out of it. And one of my biggest issues with a free discovery visit is this. A free discovery visit, every single practice in your entire town, I guarantee you, has a free discovery visit. Every single one has a free discovery visit, a free consult, or something like that. And what that puts you in is in the commodity business. When someone can get the same thing from multiple locations and make you a commodity, which is not where you want to be as a physical therapist, because you are not a commodity. Every single practice, every single owner has a very unique perspective and spin on things that creates a unique experience. But when you're offering them a free discovery visit, that does not tell a prospect that doesn't know what physical therapy is why you're different and why they should think of you as anything other than a commodity. In a commodity business, you can only compete on price and convenience. Both of these are losing games in physical therapy because if you're competing on price, it's a quick race to the bottom and nobody wins, even your patients. Even if you have lower prices for the benefit of your patients, it ends up being more hurtful than good, because when you're not charging enough, then that means you have to play the volume game and you have to have more patients in order to make enough money to sustain your business, which means you get to spend less time with each patient and provide less unique treatment for each and every one of them. So playing the price game doesn't work. Convenience is really hard because you can't move your practice. Okay, there's really not a whole lot of ways you can compete on convenience. So if you're offering a free discovery visit, that's why especially when you're doing paid ads, you're getting price shopped. They're going to the one that's a little bit closer to town because in their eyes, it doesn't make any difference because everyone has free discovery visit, everyone has a free consult. Why should I go here versus here? Because it's all the same to them. So what's really powerful with paid offers is that you can differentiate yourself substantially, not just in price, but how we talk about our offers. And I'll go into that a little bit as well. So when we're doing a free discovery visit did I say free discovery visit or free consult? It can get really hard because we're attracting all those freebie seekers and they don't have any skin in the game. So that's why we have a lot of cancellations and no-shows. And it really hurts the business when you start to look at what the alternative is when you start doing paid offers. And I really firmly believe the only reason everyone's doing free discovery visits is because everyone who owns a practice generally started their practice because they got burnt out at their previous job, or they wanted to be able to spend more time with their family and want to have more time freedom, so they didn't have to do documentation at the kitchen table every single night. And that's why I find that most people start their practice. But they never had any sort of business training that would allow them to think more innovatively and change the way they run their business from an outward-facing perspective. So everyone just does free discovery visit because that's what everyone does. Little does everyone know that every single practice that you're modeling generally has a paid advertising patient acquisition issue. Because a lot of people haven't figured it out because everyone's just offering this free discovery visit, which again, is a commodity. So let me get back to myself. I'm getting a little carried away. Okay, so of course, when you do the free discovery visit, you're seeking the freebie seekers, the people that are most likely not going to buy a plan of care, and that even if they do, they're generally pretty flaky and they're not going to show up and they're just going to drop off and they're definitely not going to start referring to you. Okay, and it significantly decreases your ad budget. Okay, so if you're a practice and you only have $300, let's say you have $300 ad budget, and with us, the average new patient acquisition is around $8. $8 per page, okay? And with that, you're gonna get around 37 leads a month. Okay, so for $300, you're only ever going to get 37 leads a month. Okay, and now if you take the a conversion rate on people that opt in and actually show up, for us it's around 35%. 35% take rate. Okay, and again, these are people that opted in, said they wanted your service. The people that generally only about 35% of people on Facebook actually end up taking that action and following through with it. Okay, so that narrows you down to what? Around 13 people that actually show up for their discovery visit. Now, these people, they're the freebie seekers. They're generally not the best people for your practice. They're generally not the more affluent people in your community who are definitely going to buy the full plan of care, see the value in it, and most importantly, end up referring you to their other affluent friends who are going to, again, buy more plans of care and, again, refer more people to you. So you got 13 people of these leads that actually show up for their discovery visit, and maybe you get, 2 to 3 of them to get on a plan of care, but who knows if they actually stick with it. They might fall off halfway through and cause you all sorts of problems. So this can be profitable. This absolutely can be profitable. But you're extremely limited because you're only ever going to have a $300 ad budget. And that means you're only ever going to get 2 to 3 people a month, which could be worth it for you. It could be worth it for you. But let's take a look at the alternative, okay, and start looking into what the possibilities are if you had a paid front end offer. So once we started making this transition, everything changed within our advertising and the success our clients were having. The no-shows and cancellations drastically increased. The conversion rates between those visits and a plan of care drastically increased. And here's what we started to see within the demographics of the people that were actually bringing into the clinic. By having a paid offer, generally it's like $29 to $49. And some of you that take insurance, you might be thinking like, well, I can't do that because I take insurance and there's not a billing code for that sort of thing. Hey, Janessa, thanks for jumping on here. So some of you might be thinking I can't do paid offers because I'm an in-network clinic and insurance doesn't allow that sort of thing. And the way you get around that is the front end offer, whether it's $29 or $47. We found $47 is a sweet spot, by the way. But we found that what you can do in order to be able to accept those payments and not deal with all the insurance trouble is that $47 isn't for the treatment. That $47 has nothing to do with the treatment. The $47 is to reserve their spot to be able to receive treatment. That makes sense because when we create offers, and I have a really exciting offer training that I'm doing with Will Boyd tomorrow that if you want to be a part of, comment offer training below, and I'll make sure that I can send you a link so you can be a part of that deep dive training and how to create your offers and how to actually implement what I'm talking about today. The $47 is just to reserve their spot. So when you're talking to these patients on the phone, you say, we only have 20 of these spots available, and I want to make sure that you're able to get your spot. It's $47 to reserve it, and you collect those payments over the phone. And that has been extremely successful. And here's what we found when we start doing this. It repels all those freebie seekers. The amount of people that just show up, waste your time, and don't end up buying a plan of care. Yes, you help them, but that time could have been spent helping someone that's actually going to buy a plan of care. Okay, so we started repelling the people that weren't actually going to buy a plan of care, and we're attracting the much more affluent people within the community, people that see the value and want to spend money to solve their problems. If Well, like, I don't want the free thing. If I have a really bad back problem and it's preventing me from playing 18 rounds of golf or playing tennis with my wife, I want to make sure that I see the best and the person that get me better the fastest. And from an affluent perspective, that's not the person that's offering me free stuff, because that just tells me that you really need clients, and that isn't the person I want to see. I want to see the person that is going to bill me for it because they're confident and they're busy enough where they know that they can charge for their services. So we started attracting more affluent people. So the show up rate increased because they had skin in the game. They paid for it. They're showing up. But most importantly, the conversion rate on buying a plan of care increased because the people that we're attracting are much more affluent and actually see the value in what it is that they're getting. They get it. And more importantly, once they do buy that plan of care, those are the people that actually refer people to. They talk to their other affluent friends who end up coming in, buying a plan of care, then referring again. So once we started doing paid offers, that was one of the big significant changes that we saw. And one of the things that is so important about this is people that don't understand physical therapy, they need to have skin in the game to get them to go through with it. One of the only reasons I get to the gym on most days is because I'm paying a lot to go to this gym. It's a nice gym. And like, if I don't go, I'm just wasting money. So by collecting a payment up front before the visit, the people actually show up a lot better and they're much more dedicated. And when they're a lot more dedicated, you end up getting them to show up and you end up getting them a lot better results. So not only does a paid visit attract more affluent people, but they end up being, the conversion rates on plans of care are higher, the referral rates are higher, and it just is better for everybody. And one of the principles also is, we know statistically that it's 60 to 70% easier to sell someone who's already bought from you before. And this is really, and I encourage you to do your own research on this. Dan Kennedy writes a ton about it. Once someone already has bought from you and made the conscious decision to trust you and believe that you can get them to where they're trying to go, it's a lot easier to get them to buy from you again. So when you have a free discovery visit, someone comes in, not only is their perceived value of the service pretty low because it's free, but getting them to jump from paying nothing to a $1,500 plan of care is a lot harder, because they have to have that conscious decision within their heads during that moment of, can I trust this person? And do I believe that they can get me the results that I'm looking for? And having them have to make that decision in that moment, that's why a lot of conversion rates with cold traffic, someone that wasn't referred to, can be a lot lower, because they have to have that decision in their head. And if there's any question about, what you can do for them, they're not going to buy. A confused buyer never buys. So that's another issue that we ran into. But once we started charging for it, the conversion to a plan of care increased because they already had skin in the game. They already made the conscious decision to trust this person. So it made them easier to say yes the second time on a plan of care. Okay. And here's my favorite part. Here's the most powerful part about having a paid entry point offer, is it makes your ad budget grow exponentially month after month. Okay, so one of the things that we coach, and I'm going to be coaching during Will Boyd and Alex Engar's masterclass tomorrow on offer creation. I'm going to teach exactly how to do this. But when we have a paid offer, it takes us out of this commodity zone. And if you're just jumping on, go back and watch the beginning of this video. It takes you out of the free discovery commodity zone where everyone's competing on price or convenience. And it makes your own special little space down here where you created an offer that they can't get anywhere else. And therefore, they're not going to price shop you or convenience shop you, because you made an offer that's so directed and targeted towards them that they see you as the influencer and as the authority in the space for treating what they do, which makes them feel like they can be confident in paying you more because you're a specialist and an expert at treating the problem that they have. So that's the power of offer creation. Now let's get in the power of what happens when you start charging for your front end offers. Okay. So I'm going to use real metrics that one of our students and clients got for his campaign using this exact offer creation formula that we did. So once he started charging for his visit, and he was charging $55. So this is what happens when your ad budget is just $300 starting and you have a paid offer in the beginning. These are the exact numbers. So he started off with a $300 a month ad budget, right? And with the average cost per patient on the Facebook platform is about $8. Okay, so that means every single month he's getting 37 leads. When you have a free offer, you only have $300, you're only ever going to get around 37 leads and maybe 1 to 2, maybe 3 people to buy a plan of care. And generally speaking, they're the flakier people that buy the plan of care that end up not actually completing it and usually don't end up referring. So even though this model works, the quality of the leads we found to be lower. But when we start doing the paid front end offer and we're attracting more affluent people, here's the magical thing that happens with your ad budget. So you started with a $300 ad budget, cost $8 to get a lead, 37 leads. Okay. Now for the leads, we see the average conversion rate on actually showing up is around 35%. 35% of people not only showed up, they also paid. Okay. So what was that? So this breaks down to about 13 leads actually ended up paying for this front end offer. Okay. Now in this case, his offer was $55. Okay. So he had 13 of those 37 leads pay him $55. What'd that break down to? $721. $721 he made before he even got those patients even got in the clinic. So whether they actually showed up or not doesn't really matter. He doesn't lose a lot. In fact, he profited from the experience. And so here's the magic of it. So we got to change the way we think about money. You don't pocket this $721. You reinvest it back into your ads. So after month 1, he was able to take back that $300 from what he earned and reinvest everything that was left over into his ad budget for the next month. So so next month, by following the system, not only did he get all of his money back, but he invested all the profit into next month's budget. So next month's budget was $421. And this goes on and on and on. So your ad budget exponentially keeps growing just by having a free offer. And so now he could take what he originally spent, that $300, and reinvest that into another area of his business, whether that's building relationships, whether it's paying people, wherever he wants to spend that budget. He now has what's called a patient finance acquisition system, which means he's able to spend other people's money to fund all of his marketing. And for those of you that are just jumping on, this is extremely powerful. If you have a very limited ad budget, Facebook is how you can start exponentially growing your ad budget, but you have to have a paid offer. When you have a free discovery visit, you have a fixed cost, when it really should be an investment that keeps growing and compounding over and over and over and over again. So because he started out with a $300 budget, it cost $8 to acquire a patient or acquire leads. So you got 37 leads. Usually the conversion rate's around 35% of people actually show up or end up buying. So that means Steve in this case had 13 people that paid his $55. So he earned $720. He spent $300. He was able to take that $300, reinvest it somewhere else in his business, and he had $421 of someone else's money to fund all of his marketing efforts from then on. So when you have a paid offer on the front end, you really only have to pay for ads the first month. After that, you're using other people's money. And when you do this again, the next month, it's somewhere in the $600 and $700. And what's magical about this is all the people you're competing against that are in the commodity zone that are offering free discovery visits, they're stuck only paying $300. They can only spend $300 a month. You can outspend them every time. And in paid advertising, because it's all based on bids, the person that can spend the most to acquire a patient wins every freaking time. And if your front end offer is $55, that means you can spend up to $55 to acquire that person and still profit from it. That's insane. Because now you can spend like 5 times, a little bit more than 5, like 7 times more than anyone else. No, 9 times more. You can spend 9 times more than any other person in your community to acquire a patient profitably. That's crazy. That means that you have the spending power to make sure every single person that is your avatar, not even an avatar, you can spend, if you can spend this much a month and keep growing it, you can make sure every single person in your entire community knows exactly who you are, and you can do it profitably without losing a cent on any lead that comes in that wasn't a good fit because they already paid. They already paid for the cost it took to get them there. So just to recap this, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do discovery visits. They have a time and they have a place. But like I said in the beginning of this video, discovery visits were designed for people that already understand physical therapy and understand its value. Because when PT started, you couldn't go and see a physical therapist without a physician referral. So discovery visits and free consultations were designed for those people that were already referred and know they're going to go to physical therapy. Now it's just figuring out where's the best fit. It's not designed for paid advertising because it doesn't describe what it is they're getting, how much it costs. It really gives them no information as to what the transformation is that you're promising them. So by having a paid offer, what we found is it drastically reduced the number of poor leads. It attracted more affluent people. They're more likely to buy a plan of care, and not just buy a plan of care, but more likely to refer to their other affluent friends to come into the practice. So paid advertising, having a paid front end offer, not only attracts better people, but it makes it a lot easier to sell them on a plan of care afterwards, because we know selling to someone that's already bought from you before is a lot easier because they already made the conscious decision to trust you and believe that you can give them the transformation that you're talking about. And it significantly increases your marketing budget every single month. It compounds. It grows exponentially how much you can spend. And this is other people's money. Having a paid front-end offer was completely game-changing for us. And if you're interested in learning how to create your own offer and what it is that, how you should structure it, we have a live training with Alex Engar and Will Boyd for one of their master classes for their launch program. If you're interested in learning what offers are working today to have this type of system, I'm going to break down exactly how to create your offers, how you should price them at, and how you should talk to them to your prospects. So if you're interested in getting this free training, interested in getting this offer training, comment offer below, and I'll make sure that you get a link so that you can go sign up for it. I'm really freaking excited about it because anyone who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with offer creation. And man, physical therapy is just ripe for innovation and changing in the ways that we talk about what we do and how we present it to our communities around us, because we know people have no idea what physical therapy is. So we need to create offers that are not only paid to set the perceived value and the expectation of how valuable your service is, but also separates you from all the other practices that are doing the same exact thing. None of us want to be in this red market, all right? This red zone. We want to create our own market where we're unique. People understand the perceived value and see us as an authority with the types of patients that we're treating. Yeah, guys, if this is valuable, drop some fire emojis or something. It's been a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite topics of all time. And I truly believe that there's some things that we're experimenting with that are going to be completely game-changing for physical therapy, because it's been way too long. In fact, it's never, what people offer on the front end of physical therapy has never once changed. And when you look at the gym industry or the chiropractic industry, they are way ahead of us as in terms of offer creation and how to speak to consumers. And it's got to change. So tomorrow I'm going to be giving a live training and talking about what offers on the front end have been working really well to sell plans of care, and how to set ourselves or set our practices in such high regard with our community that they don't care about what the price or the convenience is. They want to see you because you're the authority within the niche that you're serving. So hope this is helpful, guys. Have a great night.